Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and breaking news, Netflix was just indicted for the film Cuties. I'm going to break down what that means, my thoughts, everything. But before we get there, if you haven't seen my review of Cuties, if you want to know what we're talking about, you can click on up here to watch it. Before I get to the story, I have to speak to my YouTube overlords, my monitors. Guys, I'm not going to say anything against the guidelines that you've written in our terms of service. I've read everything in the partner agreement. Nothing I'm saying here, I've blurred out anything that's questionable. I am strictly speaking about the legal case, and any questionable words or topics have been removed from the screen and my vocabulary. So I hope you'll allow me to share this story because it's an important one. It's important to talk about the legal ramifications about this film, which you've approved us talking about. All my other reviews did get approved by you, so YouTube reviewer, I hope you won't censor this. Let's see if they did. We're going to add an ad right now, guys. Let me know if they put it in there. It's always a struggle. You either saw it or you're not. You didn't. Let me know in the comments down below. All right, but getting this story because it's important. I want to make sure this gets shared and out there because, guys, everything we've been saying about this film, a jury decided that we were right. So defenders of the film are now going to have to explain, well, wait a second, a jury said that this was questionable. For those of you who don't understand how a grand jury works, it is the start of a criminal process. Now, it could result in huge fines. Some senior officials could, in fact, go to jail. They could also settle this, or it could all go away. But the reality is a grand jury, which is a secretive group of people. It's like more secretive than usual. A bunch of people met together to hear the evidence to deem whether there was enough to make a charge. And in this case, they deemed that there was. Now, again, to be clear, in grand jury cases, there is no defense. They only hear the negatives. It's now up to Netflix's team to now show that that evidence was incorrect or wrong, or this is why it wasn't offensive, and they're going to have to fight this case. But it means it's going to trial, and it's going to have another trial, and it's probably, according to the legal experts I spoke to before this I taped this, they were like, this is probably going to have to go to the Supreme Court because there's going to be a lot of argument about the terms and was this and is this really that and is this that, and this is definitely going to be a long, expensive process that Netflix is going to have to deal with. One wonders if it was really worth the fight to have this movie now, and they can't just take the film away now and say, oh, hey, fine, we'll remove it. No, the alleged crime has already been committed. Now they have to prove that it wasn't a crime and go from there. So this is very fascinating, and again, going to be very costly for Netflix. But let's break this down. I have to be careful. You guys can go to this article if you want to read the very specific words and such to make sure you understand what's going on. But Netflix has been indicted by a Texas grand jury for allegedly promoting lewd visual material in connection to the release of the controversial film. The grand jury in Tyler County returned the indictment charges against the giant on September 23rd. It was revealed on Tuesday, which is today. So, again, I had to black out some words here because YouTube doesn't let us say certain things, and they never really even give us feedback as to why, so pardon it, but let me try and explain what's happening here. The indictment charges that Netflix did knowingly promote visual material which depicts the lewd exposition of the areas of clothed or partially clothed, actors who at the time of the visual material were created were, a certain type. And all this visual material was created to appeal to the prurient interest in and no serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. Now, I find this fascinating. The no serious literary, artistic, they're going to have to argue like, well, why was this artistic? Oh, it's the filmmaker's vision. Okay. I mean, again, very subjective. We're going to have to figure out how they deem it's not artistic, but this is the kind of case it's going to be. At the same time, prurient, they're going to have to define whether that is. And for those of you that don't know what prurient means, it's having or encouraging excessive interest in, it's this guy. And if, ironically enough, it's this guy because he now may become part of evidence. Weirdly enough. I don't know if you guys watched the Uncomfortably Honest review. I'm not going to talk about it. But let's just say this guy gave a very honest review and thought, you know what? We got to be talking about our feelings about this film. And he talked about how some of the actors in this film, well, they were hot. Look, I don't want to tear down this guy even more. I'm not a fan of what this guy said. You guys can go look it up for your own information of what he said. But the point being, anybody who found the actors in this film hot, to me, are problematic. And that is going to prove that the intent behind the film actually might have had some, excessive interest in making sure that this guy enjoyed it. And that, to me, and the legal expert I spoke to absolutely could become proof that the film did what they're charging. On top of that, you got to remember, Netflix apologized, guys. Netflix apologized and said, we're deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork that we used for Cuties. It was not okay, nor was it representative of this French film, which won an award at Sundance. We've now updated the pictures and description. So think about that. You're in a fight now to prove that it's not offensive, it's artistic, yada, yada. But they were deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork. Now, the artwork in question, which I'm not going to show you here, the artwork in question showed some of the cast in, attire and, framed certain ways. Nothing in that poster that they deemed inappropriate, nothing in that was not in the movie. I said that confusingly. Everything you saw in that inappropriate poster was in the movie, but they were moving around while they did it. Now, granted, there may not have been one exact wide shot of them all posing, but there was dancing, there was twerking, there was lots of stuff happening in that movie, which is what made people so upset. It was those actions that made people upset. And again, my reason at the beginning, which I have to speak in code here because of YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. But because of that, because of the problems that we genuinely have about this film, which so many people just wrote off and said, yeah, but what about this? And what about that? Come on, guys. Haven't you seen Toddlers and Tiaras? Come on. What about that? I'm so over whataboutism. It's such a problem. Who cares about that? We're talking about this right now. This is in front of us all, and we should all talk about this topic. Now, once we get through this one, then we can talk about the next one. Absolutely. I never saw that. I never really paid attention to it. I did now, and I am now, and that's why I'm upset about it. I'm all for artistic movies. I'm all for, don't want to censor anybody. No filmmaker should be censored. They should have the freedom to make the film. But there are lines, guys. We got to protect actors. Got to protect certain actors to make sure that it's not the activist parent or the artistic director recreating her life. Certain actors don't have the wherewithal to understand what they're putting on film. They're not equipped yet to understand, do I really want to be on celluloid for the rest of my life looking like that or wearing that? I mean, that's what this is really about to me. So this case is massive. This case is big, and the fact that it's already gotten this level means it's not going away anytime soon. We're going to hear about this case for a while, and this is no doubt going to be something that's talked about for a little while, but it's going to be costly for Netflix. It's going to take some time. They're going to fight this for a while, and we're going to have to stay tuned to see what this actually means. But I look forward to all the people who came at us saying, oh, you red state crazies, how dare you? You don't understand. You didn't understand. You probably didn't even watch the movie. How dare you speak up for this? This is just this fake outrage. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. What is the line anymore? The same people who would argue about the stupidest things and fight for them. This one, they're like, no, it's art. It's her story. How dare you? You're missing the point. They're against this. If they were against it, why did she shoot it the way she shot it? That is the laziest way to make a movie. Oh, I'm against this belief, so let me just film it a bunch. Oh, this is a criminal act. I'm against it, but let me do it while I'm telling you that I'm against it. I mean, what brain are these people? Brainless. It's absolutely mind-bogglingly brainless. So anyway, this is big news. Stay tuned. As this continues, I'm going to try and bring a legal expert to really come in here and talk about this in more detail, whether YouTube allows or not. I want to get to more of the nitty-gritty of what does this mean? What do we expect? Let me try and get some legal experts. So stay tuned. Make sure to hit that subscribe, which will be right here to this channel. It'll be here in a second, as well as all these other videos. I'm going to be live tonight because I got my own drama to unleash. So please join me there. If you missed it, it'll be here after the fact. If you know me from my previous days, I'm unpacking a lot of stuff because today's the 3-year anniversary of me being canceled. That's right. If you don't know my backstory, stay tuned. Watch that tonight or later. And for those of you who have supported and found this channel, I'm so grateful for your support here. Again, hit that subscribe. Join the Popcorn Planet family. It's been growing like crazy, and I can't believe it. Thank you all. I'm here to be honest, speak some truths, and share your thoughts as well. So thanks so much for joining this community, watching, and stay tuned for more content.